we just went through the start list off air, and it is stacked. This is a red-hot surf race right here. No doubt we're going to have just as close a finish as we had in the women's, and the surf skills are going to be at an absolute premium.
You're not wrong, Duff. When you look along the names in that start list, it is incredible. Even as we're seeing on screen now, the cap of Manly's Ollie Sigarini, can see Kai Casella in there from Burleigh, Zach King from Burleigh, Nick Sloman, obviously, reigning Aussies champion, reigning Summer of Surf champion, and he also, then you look across at Hayden Cotter, who's made the transfer to Manly Club this year. He won this event, he won this swim race last year. All the boys are, mate, this is going to be a gun final as we watch. Interestingly enough, some of the men have gone straight in. I don't know how that'll work, whereas the other half, I'd say it's a pretty 50-50 split right there. Half went straight, half went south.
Very, very different tactics to the female. Generally, you would think that the boys back themselves a little bit more in terms of their strength out in the water, attacking the water a little bit more, attacking the ocean. And that is Cooper Williams. He knows this beach like the back of his hand. He's been out here training since he was a nipper, started down at Perigian, but made the move up to Alex for as long as I can remember he's been here. He's under the tutelage of Jack Hansen here, who at the moment is just a super coach of the sport. You probably look at the coaches and the who's who. You've got Kev Morrison there at Northcliffe. You've got Michael King down there at Burleigh. And then you've got Jack Hansen up here on the Sunshine Coast. And they seem to get the best out of their athletes. And as we see southern side of the screen, that's Bailey Armstrong. He's got the more choppy style. Nick Sloman a little bit nicer through his rhythm. Bailey Armstrong seems to chop through his stroke a little bit more, which in these conditions can be a real benefit, can't it?
It looks like Bailey Armstrong's gone a very, very long way north. I don't know how much he's going to have to swim, if at all, swim back up onto those cans. But I dare say your call before was bang on, Duff. Cooper Williams is one of the strongest, fastest swimmers to those cans. I know the guys are Nick Sloman, Bailey Armstrong, with their open water distance swimming, sort of their back end of the race is super, super strong, a big tank. They're very fit, those boys. But when you're talking about going through the surf, under waves, and to that can, I don't think there's many better than Cooper Williams. But this looks like this has got to be either Sloman or Armstrong. I can't quite tell.
I think just from the beach earlier today, it was Sloman had a bit more of the pattern on his trunks, whereas I think Bailey Armstrong is wearing the all black. So we're going to go with Bailey Armstrong, but I think you have to sort of flash back and not put him in the same calibre of Kai Hurst just yet. But you flash back to Kai Hurst as the last strong Ironman swimmer, dominated sport. But since then, it has been the pure swimmers that have taken out that Australian title. Most recently, about the only one that has done it is Shannon Eckstein. We know what he's like, the GOAT of our sport. As we see, we've got closest to the screen, the young man from Northcliffe, Cooper Williams right through the middle, and I think you can see there Nick Sloman starting to get in his work on the southern side. Kai Kinsella there goes under. We can see the size of the waves. Look at it explode on that back bank there. I think that's a good example for the viewers at home watching that there's some surf on. This is swell today. As the sun is just starting to shine as well. A long way to come back, so that lead is just going to disappear. The GPS just discoordinated there, isn't it?
Oh, I think Bailey Armstrong has messed this up there, Duff. He went flying off the beach and through that break zone, but he left himself a long way north, as we can see him on the top right of that screen, swimming back up to the cans, whereas it looks like that's Cooper Williams I'm going to call. Cooper Williams goes around first. Looks like maybe a Manly competitive Ollie Sigarini, absolutely, as we see Nick Sloman and Bailey Armstrong. This is where they come into their element of the race, so Duff. Those boys have got a huge tank, big open water swimmers. They're built for the 5K, 10K stuff, and this is only an entree for them.
And look, now when the boys come together, it was Nick Sloman that was off there because Bailey Armstrong's got the little bit of the lanky, more sort of streamlined body, whereas Nick Sloman's sort of more buoyant there on top. As we see Cooper Williams, though, back to back. Could Alex do it?
Imagine if Alex did it. Open female, open male winner. We saw Lani Pallister just take out the women's race. Cooper Williams, you would not be shocked to say, and I dare say as well, if they get into a tow race, a sprint up the beach, there's not many that would beat Cooper. He's very quick, especially when you talk to those guys or look at those guys like Nick Sloman, Bailey Armstrong, Ollie Sigarini. They are pool swimmers. They're not as quick up the beach
as well. Sam Short, there's a little bit of a blast from the past. We don't see him very often, but when we do, he's always here to compete. He's always here to race. And Cooper Williams Williams just at the moment got his nose in front. Nick Sloman starting to work his way in. Ollie Signorini in the sky blue as well. This is where it's the wave zone now. You can see that whitewater just become, it's that turbulent. There's a wave on here as well. Is anyone going to be able to pick it up? Cooper Williams probably in the best spot.
On the southern
and the southern side, they take that one there. It's Sam Short and Nick Sloman there of Northcliffe. So Maroochydore and Short. Sloman versus Short. Who are you going to take in a battle of surf skills here, Paulie?
Sloman's pretty quick up the beach. I've actually seen him in a few sprint finishes, and surprisingly for what you would say notably a pool swimmer, he's pretty quick up the beach. As we can see, it looks like they've come off there, and there's a second wave that if the boys don't hurry up, it looks like they might catch him. So Nick Sloman is desperately trying to get back to the beach. He's bringing in the 6-beat kick here. He's absolutely flying.
Look at the waves out behind though. There's going to be a little bit of an upset party here as Nick Sloman tries to pick it up. Is that Cooks Hill? The young man from Newcastle, Cooks Hill, in the mix there as well.
It's Hayden Cotter from Manly, I can see, in the middle of that.
Joe McMenon there of Mooloolaba as well. Could it be Jay Finesse down here? The big body of Jay Finesse. He can motor across the sand. Look at the finish right here, Paulie. Up across the sand. Hayden Cotter fast as a flash. Nick Sloman trying to mix it in, but it's going to be Hayden Cotter. Is that another back-to-back performance? It is. Hayden Cotter takes out the Hayden Kenny Classic, all thanks to Shaw and Partners Financial Services. Back-to-back championships, 10,000 points, taking the line honours. What a race. There was, what, 6 or 7 in the finish there?
6 or 7. That was, look, you got to feel for Cooper Williams. He did it all right there. He set a perfect line out to those cans. He led from the front. He was leading on the way in, doing it all right, but you just saw that wave came through, Duff. It picked up the southern competitors. It left Cooper out the back. Waves came through. That's the story of surf, isn't it?
Oh, surf is just, it can be a cruel, cruel sport that sometimes it's your day, sometimes it's not. For Cooper Williams, got plenty more as we've got the boys down on the beach with the winner.
Yeah, thanks, boys. Down here with Hayden Cotter, mate. What a race, had all the elements. Obviously, the boys got swept down a little bit too far coming down, but let's talk about that wave. We had probably 6 or 8 on that wave. Unbelievable surf skills from all athletes involved in that race.
Yeah, that's it, I know. I didn't know where everyone was at the start. I didn't have the best start, so I came down the wave. I was just hoping to get up there, maybe get top 3, and then didn't see anyone coming in, so I was like, just stay on, and then end up getting the sprint finish right, so.
Mate, what a performance. Obviously, you stood up a little bit later. I feel the boys got up early as well. But let's talk about new club as well, Manly club. It's good to get a win for the Manly.
Yeah, that's it. I moved down a couple of weeks ago, so new cap, bit of a change, so it's been good.
Mate, you've been an outstanding open water swimmer for a number of years, missed out on the Olympics as well. The surf is something you love, isn't it, about getting out there in the ocean, especially the elements like today?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you look out there, it's pumping, so a bit of elements, waves, it just makes it that much better, that much fun, so it's good to get out there.
Well, you're the Shaw and Partners 10,000 winner. Congratulations, Hayden Cotter from Manly Lifesaving Club.
Cheers.